I'd sort of forgotten all about the stuff I should be doing, when I got in the emotion of it. So Todd, thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. That
Hey,
is why
Jordan,
we're here.
my Fathom's in the waiting room. Can we
Oops, sorry about that. All right.
thank you.
Well, if nobody has anything, I thought this might be fun. I'm not quite sure how I got on this guy's mailing list, but here I am. So let me see.
And hey, Beth.
I got on a mailing list somehow for
Hey,
whoever this person is. And crushing seller objections. Top 3 seller objections and how to crush them instantly. So now that I've fully exaggerated it, does anybody see a problem with that thinking?
Yes.
Specifically?
It's not really rapport building if you're crushing.
Not at all, right? Not at all. This is so old school, but here's a guy who's a coach with some company or something. I don't know. I don't remember who it is. But now let's
his seller targets must be halves.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So are the agents. So I thought to myself, I already know what the answers are going to sound like, right? Eliminate fear. Eliminate the fear. How does one eliminate fear that someone else is feeling? I'd love to have a conversation with this guy. Top 3 seller objections. So what you're doing is overcoming, again, old school thinking. I've sold FSBO before. So here's what I'd like to do, just to have some fun. Wait, he's got the same 2 objections here.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a fear about he doesn't even know how to do the slides right. Okay, so you got, I've sold FSBO before. I want to wait a few weeks, and I don't need an agent. So, show of hands for I just want to play with this and see what we could do with it using some black swan stuff. Should we do I've sold before, I want to wait a few weeks, or I don't need an agent? Which one do you want to do? Who wants to do FSBO?
I'll do FSBO.
One for FSBO? Beth? I want to, nah, you don't care? FSBO, you want to do FSBO since it's the top one? Lena, any preference?
No problem. I think a FSBO would be great to do.
Just what happens when you wait for agreement with everybody. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can read it. So here's the objection. I've sold FSBO before. Absolutely. And I'm sure that you can do it again. Let me ask you, what's more important to you, to sell on your own or to net the most money? In my world, we call that an SRQ. A stupid rhetorical question. No, I don't care about the money. I want to sell it on my own. All right. And if it did turn out that I can actually net you more money net bottom line after my commission is paid, wouldn't that be worth just 15 minutes of your time so you can be sure that you didn't leave any money on the table?
And that's crushing.
That's crushing. That's crushing the objection. Okay. Now, again, I'm not totally slamming old world sales techniques, but this is an old world sales technique. It's like you're not even acknowledging it. You're just sort of skirting past it. We used to kid about having negative earplugs that you put them in before meeting with a customer. And as soon as a customer said something negative, and you don't even hear it. And you just crush it and go past. All right. So I've sold FSBO before. What's a different way to handle this that's more relationship, more rapport building, more using black swan methods? What are some potential labels or
like
mirrors or whatever you could use?
Seems like you're trying to save some money.
Seems like you're trying to save some money. As opposed to, seems like you're trying to save some money.
Oh, I wasn't doing the tone. I was just saying.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm just doing the alternate. It's
Yeah.
the downstroke. Seems like you want to save some money. Seems like you're concerned about what goes in your pocket after the house is sold. How about seems like you want to maintain control? No, it's not about that. Because even if you mislabel it, then you get a correction. Now you're dealing with truth.
Seems like you've casted a wide net in marketing a home before.
Ooh.
Wow.
Seems like you cast a wide net in marketing a home before.
Would you even understand that though?
Sometimes confusion is a really good thing to throw in because it'll cause them to step back and go inside and think. See, the thing with this, and if it didn't turn out that I could actually do that, would leave any money on the table, right? Is it's forcing a yes, as opposed to causing the person to internalize and think. That doesn't eliminate fear. Right? What else? What else could be a label? Here, let's just play with this. Let's just play with some labels. I want to wait a few weeks. Sure, I can certainly follow up with you. And regardless of whether we meet now, in 2 weeks, or even 2 months from now, is it fair to say that your primary goal is to net the most money possible from the sale? Mind read. Okay. Or I want to wait a few weeks because my wife is going in for surgery tomorrow. Or I want to wait a few weeks because we have my daughter's bar mitzvah. Or I want to wait a few weeks because fill in the blank. Why are we assuming it's all about money? All right. That's the problem with crushing objections. It's an assumption. And I'll have to remind you of the old, what happens when you assume, right? You guys all know that one. Mm-hmm. And if you're as convinced as I am that hiring me, embedded command, is how you will accomplish that, would it make sense for me now? It would make sense for us to meet now, wouldn't it, tie down?
No, it would not. My wife's having surgery.
Yeah. I want to wait a few weeks. I was just was just diagnosed with. I'm starting chemo. Whatever it might be. So what could you do with? I want to wait a few weeks.
Sounds good. Would it be fair? Not would it be fair? Would it be unreasonable to assume that you're leaning my way in terms of who's going to be in your corner to sell your home?
There's an option. There's a presumptive. What would you call that? A presumptive label. Okay. There's one. Beth, what about you? Got any ideas on this one?
I'll wait a few weeks.
I haven't even thought about these, by the way. I just saw this come in last week. I thought this would be fun for Tuesday night.
It sounds like timing's important to you.
Ooh, good. It sounds like timing's important to you. Yeah.
Good.
That's a good one because that's addressing exactly what they're saying, not presuming that it's about money. Good. Or wait a few weeks. You could mirror it too. Again, it's real hard to know because the problem with if a prospect says this, you say that, is you're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words out of probably a 3,000 word conversation and assuming that you have to answer it this way. It all depends on what's the context, what's all the rest of it. That's the beautiful thing about labeling. The context doesn't matter because when you label it, you're asking them for what the context is. Instead of assuming that you want to get the most money. This guy keeps on coming back to the most money for the sale. Duh. No, I was hoping to take a loss.
And the seller, what's important to the seller may be that he doesn't have to move his wife while she's sick and has chemo. That may not be the most important thing to the seller. Exactly right. And I love this part. And if you are convinced as I am that hiring me,
cares what you think about yourself? Really? If I had a guy say that to me, I was like, there's a reason not to work with you. I don't know if there's enough room in my house for you, me, and your ego.
No.
Right? When you start to dissect some of this with a different eye, isn't it interesting? And Beth, I mean, this is like bold stuff right here to a degree, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Not saying it's bad.
No, it's just a different way of doing it.
It's a different way of doing it, and I think it's old. You know. So I want to wait for Beth. What was it that you came up with? Isn't this one sound? What did you say?
It sounds like timing's important to you.
Do you? Yeah. That'll get them to open up.
Yeah. And then I'd probably just mirror whatever they say. Yeah, my wife's starting chemo. Chemo.
Oh,
Chemo.
Wow. Chemo.
Seems like that's really stressful.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a lot on your plate.
And I think when you say that to people, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate. They appreciate that someone recognizes that, because most of the time when people think about selling their house, they feel overwhelmed. They don't do this every day and they feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Getting to their side of the street.
Right.
Wow.
This is you being on your side of the street throwing rocks.
Yeah.
Crushing.
Seems like selling your house now would just totally put you in overwhelm.
Seems like there's a really good reason for waiting a few weeks.
There
Seems
you
like there's
just
a
got
really
on
good
their
reason.
side.
Yeah.
There you just went to their side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whole different methodology. And isn't it so much less salesy? Yeah. I love this. This guy sent me this information. We get to tear it apart.
Do we know who it is so we can run away?
I'll find it for you. Yeah.
I don't need an agent.
I'll find the email. I want to wait a few weeks. What is it? Okay. I don't need an agent. Sometimes here I can sell it myself, or I don't want to pay a commission. Use this same crusher. I don't need an agent. If you could sell it for the same price that I can sell it for, why would you pay me to do it, right? And if there was a better way to get this home sold, wouldn't you at least want to know about it? It's not a question of whether you can sell it, because I'm sure you can. The question is, what's the best way for you to do it? Just give me 15 minutes.
I'll see you at 3:00.
Yeah, come. I'll tell you what. Why don't you come by the second Tuesday of next week at 4, and we'll have a conversation. Yeah. I don't need an agent.
Sounds like you hate realtors.
Oh, look at Beth going right for the jugular. Yeah.
No, I don't hate realtors. Blah, 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 blah.
Right. I just had a really bad experience. So and so. Blah 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 blah. Right.
Oh, you didn't deserve that.
I think that's brilliant.
Oh, what? Oh, say that again.
You didn't deserve that.
It's so much better with a Southern accent.
You didn't deserve that.
Now do it with the bless your heart. Make it really good.
Bless your heart.
God.
You didn't deserve that.
I got to move to the South, man. I gotta love it down there. Yeah. I want to be able to master the three methods of bless your heart. All right. You didn't deserve that is great. What an empathy statement. That is so good. Right. I don't need an agent. Lena, what do you think? I don't need an agent.
I'm just chuckling because Beth, you just delivered it with like boom. You really must hate. It seems like you've had a bad experience with realtors.
Seems like you had a bad experience with an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just very soft. The other thing I want to stress too with this, I'm just going back to Chris, the late night FM DJ voice. This you can't do this with a late night FM DJ voice. You can't do this with empathy. If you could sell your house at the same price that I could sell it for, why would you pay me to do it? Right? I mean, it doesn't work. It just doesn't fit in. But Seems like you had a bad experience with an agent. Seems like you hate realtors. You can do it very soft, and the soft voice is just disarming. You can't argue with that because you're on their side of the fence.
So I can't say it seems like you're a son of a bitch.
Hired, you're hired.
Seems like I don't need your business.
Hang up. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Sorry. I've had to, yeah.
That's hey, look, if we're not laughing, if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta have, I think that laughter is really good because you remember it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, I can sell it myself. I don't want to pay a commission. I don't want to pay a commission.
Seems like you're looking to get the most net proceeds out of your home, as you should be.
What was the last part?
As you should be.
As you should be.
Well, sounds like you want to walk away from this house with the most money in your pocket as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I like the second one better
Me too.
because
You know,
because it's short to the sweet to the point, and it's not lecturing at all.
Most of the samples, when you read through the book, you'll notice the labels are usually pretty short. They're not real wordy. Which is, again, it's that stimulus response. We're fortunate that as humans we have that space in between where we can step back, take a breath, reflect, think, and then deliver. You know, where this stuff is more stimulus response. Client says this, you say that. They say this, you say that. And then so people get so hung up in memorizing the response that the other 93% of the communication is not in sync with the words. Audio doesn't match the visual.
Well, they're not listening.
They're not listening. They're just reacting.
They're not listening for the seller's motivation. The seller's motivation is that his wife has cancer or she's sick and they need to get out of the house because she can't climb the stairs anymore. And they can't do it right this minute because the wife is about to go under chemo. And this, to me, is disrespectful.
Big time.
Not address. It puts your motivation over theirs. It doesn't honor their motivation.
Yeah. It doesn't have to because you're crushing the objection.
Yeah. I don't want to crush people.
It's very transactional. Even if you get the transaction. Yeah.
So
it really just
win-lose mentality.
It's a what?
The win-lose mentality.
Yes, win-lose.
It's not a partnership.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Total percent. As soon as I saw the word crush, it's like, this is going to be good. Yeah. All right.
It's not coming from the perspective of what are they thinking.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's very egocentric. It's self-centered. Yeah. I don't want to pay a commission.
And honestly, though, I wonder if we look back through our script books, if we could take those script books and we could rewrite them into this. I mean, because we have said in a bold room, well, it sounds like you want to net the most money possible, or, obviously you want to net the most money possible. How could we take those scripts and we could tweak them in a way that would Vossify them.
Here's the problem with it, Beth. This isn't about script. This is about listening for the emotion and addressing the emotion behind it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pay a commission. There could be a whole lot of reasons for that. Mm-hmm. Seems like you're concerned about losing money. Seems like you had a bad experience. Sounds like you had a bad experience with an agent. Sounds like you don't like good service. Sounds like you're a cheap.
Sounds like you want to maintain control.
What was that, Lena?
I want to meet space for a minute there. Yeah.
I do believe it. It was an S and an O and a B.
Something like that.
But I don't deliver it as beautifully as as you do, Beth, from the South.
That's right.
What is the
Gotta
famous
practice.
statement? I'll work on that. But, I think it's the old statement that wishing somebody to go to hell and they enjoy the ride,
In such a way that they're looking
I don't
forward
have
to the
that.
ride. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm that northern girl, that northern chick that doesn't quite know how to deliver that, but I'm working on it.
That's the mastery of bless your heart. I think if you got a Southern accent or a
Yeah,
British accent, you can get away with a lot,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Yeah.
All right. So again, that's the beauty of this whole thing, the tactical empathy is that it's not answering objection, handling objection, or crushing an objection. It's really tuning in to what is this person saying? What are they feeling? How do I ask a question? How do I label it? How do I mirror it so I can get on their side of the street, put my arm around them, and look and see the world the way they're seeing it? That's the whole thing. Because when you're on their side of the street and you got your arm around them, then you can do it together. And that's hard to script because it's conceptual.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's no wrong answer to labeling this, because even if you're wrong, they will correct you because you're showing empathy.
And I think they want to correct you. They want to set the record straight.
Yeah.
Again, when they say no, they feel protected.
Right.
This fascinates me. Absolutely fascinates me because it's so against what we've, always done. Get to yes. And I just love it because it disarms them.
Yeah. Here's a question. It's so against what you've been taught, but how in tune is it with your intuition?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny with my listing presentations, Stephen, I go in and I sit down with them and it just, it's like human to human, not sale to sale. Yeah. And it just, what type of questions do you have right now? And they'll lead me to where they want to go. And because if I'm in there, now this is before I even did, am I the favorite or the fool? But you sit down with them and have first a conversation, and then you find out because half them, what way I was taught back at Coldwell Banker is give the presentation and then get their acceptance, and they just want to get to know what are you going to do for me as far as price? Okay, that's what I want to know, and so I come from where they are at, and that's something Bold actually taught us too. So that was good.
Can you help? Do I like you? Do I trust you? And can you help me? What were those three questions? That's what they want to know.
Yeah.
I agree.
And on the flip side, we're trying to find out, is there a deal here? And is this deal with me?
Yeah. Voss had a good newsletter today. If you didn't see it, it was about proof of life.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Favorite and the Fool. He was talking about using that in negotiations. It was a really good read. If you got it this morning, read it. It's really good.
Who can somebody get me on that mailing list or show me where I've got to go to get that? Because Todd sent me a proof of life and I just adored it.
Lena, what's your email address? I'll send it to you.
You know what? You can just do lena@kw.com. LINA@kw.com.
Okay.
That's not my business, but that's the corporate one. So
I'll just forward it over to you. Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
Yeah, perfect. Because I thoroughly enjoyed him.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I found this guy. This is the dude, Russ Coach Russ. It looks like
Collier.
Collio. Is he familiar to anybody? Collio.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know him? I've never seen this guy before.
I do. Yes. Is that who sent that out?
That's who it came from. Yep. Who is this guy? Didn't you say you know him?
Russ is a former bold coach
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
that went to EXP and now recruits heavily for EXP.
Wow.
You know, there are some people that when they call you, you go,
Yeah.
don't want to take his calls. He was at family reunion last year in Orlando. He called me, invited me out to breakfast. I said, "Oh, I'm going to be in Orlando." He goes, "Well, I'm here in Orlando." I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing in Orlando?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just catching up with old friends."
Wow.
So
There was a guy out of Denver that was doing the same thing, and I'm like, really? I just thought it was kind of creepy.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now you know. Right? As they say, consider the source.
Bless him.
Reason he's a former coach.
Yeah, bless him.
Well, there you go. Bless his heart. Say it right. Say it right.
Bless him.
There.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, cool. Well, good. I'm glad we had a little bit of fun with this, but you know, it was just perfect. I had to bring it up. So
yeah,
that was beautiful.
Keep on practicing, Lena. Keep on getting those 6%ers, baby.
Crushing it.
Crushing it. Crush those objections.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, crushing it.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
Whatever, Russ. Okay. All right, folks. Talk to you all soon. I'll be around if you need anything. As always.
Good one. Thanks, guys.
Right. See you guys. Thank you.
Hey, have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Lena.